So, first of all, I can say that for almost every heavy user experience method, there's a lean way to do it. And we don't have enough time to describe all of them, but I do have three tips that are probably principles about how to go about that. So, first of all, my first tip is learn about humans. Because again, human behavior has not changed, for a very long time, and it's not going to change. Even though we have technology, it's not going to change so fast. I'm going to give it's not a stupid example, but it's kind of unrelated, but it's just to demonstrate how behavior doesn't change. So 10,000 years ago, when people, I don't know, were hunting and they saw suddenly I don't know, a tiger or a lion surprise them and threaten their lives, the immediate response is extensive heartbeats and excitement, and adrenaline is rushing. So today, let's say, God forbid, we're sitting in a situation at work where when our boss is calling us and is telling us that we're being laid off, we're fired. What happens that moment? Our heart starts beating. Why? There's no immediate danger. We respond in the same way as if a tiger or a lion is jumping on us, but there's no clear danger. But in our minds, we do think about that danger because I'm not going to have work, I'm not going to have money, my family is not going to be able to eat. This is a threat. And we treat that threat in a very weird way that was true to how we dealt with threats 10,000 years ago. So this is just one example about how our behavior does not change much, and it has nothing to do with technology. So my first tip would be to learn about humans. And if you want to, that's a big statement, so let me make it very practical. Go find I'm going to recommend a book. Go find a book called 100 Things Every Designer Needs to Know About People. I don't know how much it costs, but it's not much. It's by Susan Weinschenk. And this book is based on research that was done throughout many, many years. And will tell you, topic by topic, how do people behave? What are the things that you should know about people when you design products? So my first tip is learn about human beings. The second one is I call it obsess about the problem. So a lot of people, when I told the story earlier about the startup founder that had a problem and now he's focusing on solving it, that situation of identifying that there's a problem is usually happening in a very short period of time, and then immediately startup founders and companies move to obsessing about the solution. This is what we can do, this is what we're going to do, this is the technology that we're going to use, let's hire a lot of engineers, let's make it happen, let's work late, let's blah, 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 blah. I say that's fine, that's important, I have nothing against that. But first, you need to obsess about the problem. You need to perfectly understand the problem that you're trying to solve. So some people say to that, they say the iPhone didn't solve any problems. Maybe. But another way to look at that is what need are you looking to meet? So it doesn't have to be that you're solving a problem. It could be a need that you're meeting without any problem. And another thing that relates to that relates to obsessing about the problem is not only identifying the problem and learning everything you can about the problem that you're trying to solve, but also try and learn about how much people care about this problem. Because you can identify, and there are probably thousands of startup companies and product ideas that are solving a problem that is real, that is existing in the world, and that people have. But people don't care enough to want to solve it. So, I don't know, my again, stupid example is to-do lists. So some people have to-do lists. And most people, when they think about to-do lists, when you ask them, when you observe them, you see that they're having little notes, as I have prepared here. They put it on notes. They use a pen and a paper. And yet there are probably dozens of digital products for to-do lists. Some are very well designed, some are very good, some are very bad, and they definitely meet a need. But apparently, not a lot of people use them. So people don't really care. They don't really. It's not a big problem to them that they need to write something on a piece of paper. It's not, the end of the world that they must replace that with a digital way. Some people do that, and that's fine. Probably the founders of the company that develops these applications or products, I'm sure they use it. They are, task freaks and to-do freaks. That's fine. But you need to find problems that you first understand, and then learn if if people even care about them. So that was my second tip. First, learn about humans. Second is obsess about the problem. So the third one directly relates to lean startup methodology, and it's recognizing your assumptions. So a lot of people, when you talk, in a workplace, and you talk about what the user wants, what the user needs, and things like that, a lot of people have tons of assumptions that they're using, and they're using them as if they were facts. So people don't want to do to-do lists on pen and paper. How do you know that? That's an assumption. You never tested that. You don't know that. You didn't check that. You feel that because this is how you think. Maybe the 10 people that surround you every day, they think the same way, so you have that perception. But it's an assumption. It's not a fact. And as soon as you recognize that the facts in your mind are assumptions, that you're recognizing your assumptions, you can actually go and do something about it. You need to validate or invalidate them. And I like the way, I don't know if you know Janice Frazier. She was the one of the founders of Adaptive Path in San Francisco, and she was their first CEO. And today she's leading a company called Luxor, Lean UX Residency. So she draws a circle and with two steps that keep on going and repeating. It's called prove, improve, prove, improve, prove, improve. So you need to prove that your assumption is right or wrong, and then improve your product. So prove, improve, prove, improve. As soon as you recognize your assumptions, you can go ahead, get out of the building, and test them and validate or invalidate them. And that would be my third and last tip.